Imagine stepping outside and seeing a colossal arc of light slicing through the sky, a permanent celestial marvel. What if Earth had rings like Saturn? This isn't just sci-fi. New evidence suggests it might have happened before. 466 million years ago, during the Ordovician period, Earth may have briefly worn a ring system, a massive asteroid collision, similar to the one that formed our moon, shattered a passing space rock, trapping its debris in orbit. But unlike Saturn's icy rings, Earth's would have been rocky and darker, reflecting just 12% of sunlight, yet their impact would have been profound. From the equator, the rings would appear as a razor-thin line cutting vertically through the sky. In Quito, Ecuador, dawn would reveal a silver thread rising from the horizon, but head to Alaska, and the view shifts. The rings would hover perpetually above the horizon, a glowing arch framing the northern lights. Wait, would the rings block the sun? Comment below. Would you trade blue skies for a ringed horizon? Rings aren't just pretty. They're planetary game changers. Earth's hypothetical rings could have triggered the Hernantian Ice Age. By scattering sunlight, they'd cast shifting shadows, cooling the tropics and destabilizing ecosystems. Agriculture? Forget corn belts. Growing seasons would warp under erratic light. Fast forward to today. With rings, satellites and space travel would face a debris minefield. SpaceX launches, they'd need armored hulls, GPS signals, scrambled by metallic dust. But oh, the sun sets. Earth's rings would rewrite history, challenge survival, and redefine beauty. Yet their absence reminds us, our planet's ordinary sky is a fragile miracle. Imagine the cultural upheaval. Ancient civilizations might have worshipped the rings as divine bridges. The Mayans could have aligned their pyramids to the ring's shadow, while Norse myths might have spun tales of a sky serpent forged from stardust. Surviving the rings would demand innovation. Solar farms. They'd need AI to track sunlight through shifting debris. Air travel? Flight paths would snake around perpetual shadow zones, adding hours to trips. But imagine the breakthroughs. Ring mining drones harvesting precious metals, or megacities lit by reflected ring light to save energy. Vote now. Would you support ring mining if it meant cheaper tech gadgets? Yes or no? Nocturnal animals would thrive under the ring's glow. Wolves might evolve lighter coats to blend into the brighter nights, while migratory birds, confused by the eternal dawn, circle continents endlessly. Coral reefs, they'd bleach under erratic light cycles, collapsing marine ecosystems. The rings would ignite a new space race. Nations would battle to control stable zones, gaps in the debris where satellites can orbit. Lunar colonies might boom as Earth struggles, with ads promising a clear view of the stars. For a price. Elon Musk's Mars plans? They'd get a lot more popular. Solar eclipses would become cosmic spectacles. The moon passing behind the rings would create a starburst effect, fracturing sunlight into prismatic bands. But astronomers would rage. The ring's glare would drown out 70% of visible stars. Hubble's successor? It'd have to orbit Pluto just to see past the rubble. Earth's rings remind us that beauty often comes at a cost. Our planet's quiet orbit is a cosmic fluke, a Goldilocks zone not just for life, but for progress. So tonight, look up. The emptiness above is not a void, it's a shield. Living beneath a colossal ring system would reshape human psychology in ways we can barely imagine. The sky, once a vast, open canvas, would be dominated by a massive, unchanging structure. How would this affect our sense of freedom, wonder, and even spirituality? Would children grow up believing the rings are a permanent fixture of existence, or would they spark existential questions about our place in the cosmos? Could the constant presence of a giant celestial band inspire new philosophies or religions? Imagine time itself might be measured differently. Ancient civilizations used the sun and stars to mark seasons and calendars. With rings, shadow patterns would shift unpredictably, complicating the measurement of days and seasons. Imagine ancient farmers in the American Midwest trying to predict harvest times when the ring's shadow alters sunlight intensity daily. Would we have invented clocks earlier? Would our concept of time be more fluid or fragmented? If your day length changed unpredictably because of the rings, how would that affect your daily routine? Comment below. Our modern world depends on satellites for communication, navigation, and weather forecasting. Earth's rings would create a dense debris field, interfering with radio signals and satellite orbits. Imagine your GPS signal dropping out mid-drive, or international calls cutting off due to ring interference. Would humanity have developed alternative communication methods sooner? Maybe laser-based ground networks or deep underground fiber optics? Interestingly, the rings could act as a partial shield against some meteorites, burning up smaller space debris before it reaches Earth's surface. But at the same time, the rings themselves could be a source of dangerous micrometeoroids. This dual role would create a paradox: protection from some threats, but increased danger from others. How would this balance shape Earth's long-term environmental stability? Astronomy would be revolutionized and complicated. The ring's brightness would drown out many stars, making it difficult to study distant galaxies from Earth's surface. Would we have developed space telescopes earlier? And what about the myths and stories inspired by the stars? Would constellations have been lost or reimagined? Imagine you're an astronomer trying to discover new planets under this ringed sky. What tools would you invent? Share your ideas. Earth's magnetic field protects us from solar and cosmic radiation. But what if the rings interacted with this field? Charged particles trapped in the rings could create spectacular auroras, but might also alter radiation levels at the surface. Would this increase radiation exposure for living beings? Could it drive evolutionary changes or require humans to develop new protective technologies? Throughout history, nature has inspired art, music, and innovation. The rings would be no exception. Imagine artists painting the sky's ever-changing interplay of light and shadow. Musicians composing symphonies inspired by the cosmic dance above. Architecture might incorporate ring shadows into design, creating buildings that change appearance throughout the day. Fashion might mimic the ring's shimmering textures. Control over ring resources and orbital zones would become a new geopolitical battleground. Nations might vie for ring mining rights or control over safe orbital corridors. Would this spark new treaties or conflicts? Could space law evolve faster to regulate this new frontier? The rings might become the ultimate symbol of power and prestige. If ring mining could boost your country's economy but risk environmental damage, should it be allowed? Vote now. Finally, the rings would redefine humanity's relationship with space. They could serve as stepping stones for spacecraft, with mining stations providing materials for deep space missions. But navigating through or around the rings would require new technologies, advanced shields, precise navigation systems, and perhaps even ring-based habitats. Earth's rings would be a breathtaking gift and a formidable challenge, a constant reminder of our planet's delicate balance. They would inspire wonder, fear, innovation, and conflict. But as we look up at our clear, ringless sky, let's cherish the unique conditions that make Earth habitable and beautiful. If this cosmic journey fascinated you, smash that like button, subscribe for more mind-expanding explorations, and ring the bell to never miss a stellar story. Share your thoughts. Would you want to live under Earth's rings? Let's start the conversation below.